Well, hello there. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hi, Mikey, good to see you. Do what you like. I like that name. I'll do what I like. Liking that name. The top of the morning, everybody. Did you wake up on the right or the wrong side of the dream this morning? Here, let me blow my nose. I'll be right back. We're here in a pretty beautiful place. There's a big old lake behind me. I don't know if you can see it. We're here at a friend of Liz's. His name's Drew, and he's a music promoter. And he just made breakfast. And he lives here with his fiance, and it's her first fish night too. You know, hey Drew, somebody on here says they know you. Somebody on here says they know you. Yep. Does he know you? What's your... Do I want to know your real name? Yeah, it's a blue breakfast. So Bill Murray loves Percy. I'm glad you're here for the roundtable conversation, because last night you said something that intrigued me.
What did you say?
This guy, Felonious Monk, says, "Cool, I know Drew. Big beard." I got it on a weird screen.
Felonious Monk.
I met him through Jamie and FSF.
Oh, cool.
At Festival 8.
Yeah.
And remembers you.
Awesome.
You must have made an impression.
Cool. Can you hear us too?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, man? How's it going? Hopefully well. Seeing fish tonight. Woo!
What's up, buddy? He says.
Yeah, totally. First time in 10.5 years. Sure was. I hope that I can make it to Super Bowl 9, but I'm not sure yet.
I like how you're peeking out of the question mark there. Any questions?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think second night's going to be hotter, but that's how it always is, I think.
Don't tell Chad that.
Why, you guys are only going tonight?
Mm-hmm. So he's convinced himself tonight's the night.
Well, maybe tonight is the night. Oh, we'll get it at PNC.
Never miss a Tuesday fish show. And that's...
No, you enjoy myself for Bethel shows, so we'll get one tonight, I'm sure.
So everything happens on Tuesday in Fishtown, too? I have a song called Everything Happens on Tuesday in This Town.
Oh, yeah, we know Bill Murray.
I guess I'm a little excited. My first fish show ever.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're going to love it.
I'm in the same boat as Brenda.
Yeah.
That's the right name, right?
Yeah. You've seen DVDs, though, right?
Oh, yeah. I've heard a lot, seen a lot, heard a lot of stories.
Yeah, just wait until you see the lights live, man.
Yeah.
Feel the energy of the crowd. It's ridiculous. One of the best crowds in music. Sure.
Not tonight. I'm maybe going tomorrow night.
Nice, Bill Murray. Very nice.
Which part?
Said I was at the Dark Side of the Moon show. That was in Utah, and it was like totally a sleeper show. Everybody bypassed Utah because there's zero tolerance.
Right.
So if you got arrested with a seed, you're in jail for like 10 years or something
Right.
ridiculous.
Seriously?
Seriously,
It's crazy.
it is crazy.
I went to high school with a kid from Utah. He was definitely like glad to be out of there. Like,
Oh yeah.
Mm. That's a really trippy place.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was raised Mormon and stuff.
I always did pretty well there,
Yeah.
musician-wise. Every action, there's the opposite reaction.
Seriously.
Salt Lake or Utah definitely has its counterculture. That's had to be more diehard than most states' countercultures.
I'm gonna talk to Nathan and I'll call you back. Okay.
We drove to New Jersey last night to a good friend of Liz's here. Where are we?
We're in Wanamassa, New Jersey, or Ocean, New Jersey.
Wanamassa, New Jersey, or Ocean.
Ocean. What did you say? Village?
Ocean, New Jersey.
What?
Who was it who knew you?
Thelonious Monk.
Oh, that's Steve Conroy. They're friends with Megan.
Yeah. He met me in Festival 8. He was saying.
We did. We got attacked by a wheeling motorcycle gang leaving Brooklyn last night, and I really wish the webcast had been able to see it. Apparently, it was too dark and blurry, but they were like doing wheelies on either side of the car, and then acting super sketchy and slowing back down, looking all around them on their motorcycles, and then realized there was no cops anywhere. They go full on wheelie. They were very strange.
Did you wake Chad up for breakfast?
Not yet. I'll let him know.
So, Bill Murray, the reason I've called this roundtable conversation.
Is that happening right now?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I have a question.
It's 2:15. You have a question? What is it?
I have my mom on the phone.
That was your mom on the phone? Uh-huh.
She wants to know if we're coming tonight or tomorrow.
Sounds like you guys have options.
We have options. I love options.
Options are great.
Tomorrow. What's that answer?
Good answer.
Filoni says, I wouldn't plan on parents after your first fish show. Anything could happen. I'm eating, it's a potato, broccoli, onion, egg mix with some perfect toast and a cup of coffee. But can we begin this conversation or not? Any more? Because I want Bill Murray to start it. Because last night you said something that intrigued me on the way home. You said, I think something like Hippie Fiasco is going to raise more questions than it's going to provide answers. And of course, last night at my show, I had a bit of an emotional breakdown. It's not the first time it's happened, but it always tears me up when it does. And I was basically just sitting there with my guitar in my hand, plugged into a little amplifier, crying, talking about how I was looking for answers. And as we round this corner, hitting the last leg of this tour, the fact that I hadn't seemed to have found any answers was breaking my heart. And I just started basically crying at the show and blabbering a bunch of bullshit about this and that, and not being a good storyteller or a good entertainer or anything. I mean, it's a terrible moment for me. I hate when that happens, but it did, and I'm here the next day thinking about the whole deal. I mean, it started at Delfest when I got all liquored up on moonshine and came home told the webcast I was going to hold a poll to see if I should ever play again, and if one person said no, then I'd never play again. So I'm still going through that. Then I went through played my Delfest set, which I said was my last set ever, and I wanted to go out with a bang, and had a really great time playing that set, and people seem to respond very positively to it. So my last show was a sort of a failure because it inspired me to play again. And then the next day I had the breakdown I was looking for, I guess. You know, here I am. Beautiful yard, ukulele, a good breakfast, a few days off. But I want Bill to start the conversation off by saying what he meant by that.
What did Bill say?
Last night on the way back, he said, I think something like Hippie Fiasco, this experiment that we're in the middle of, is going to raise more questions than it's going to provide answers. And I've been talking the last few days about how this is, for me, sort of a vision quest of sorts. There's some answers I'm looking for from the world. Being 40 years old, having toured for a couple of decades now, and you know, making a name for myself, but still it's not a career. It's not, the financial stability is still eluded me, and I could either just dig in and plow impoverished into the field of legend, you know, just embrace it full on, be that guy. I mean, I don't have a wife or kids or any dependents or anything, so it's possible for me to just embrace it, and it's not like my dad's basement sucks that bad, you know.
Well, you know, look at somebody like Leon Russell, who just had a resurgence, you know.
Right. What about him?
Well, it was like he almost fell into obscurity, and then, you know, a couple people were like, hey, man, like I was reading in Rolling Stone, these guys, the sheep herders or something like sheep herders, I don't know, whatever their band name is, they're playing Bonnaroo opposite Leland Broussard, or one of them gets to play Bonnaroo, and one of them gets to be on the cover of Rolling Stone and all this stuff, and those guys are from Canada and basically have modeled their band after the Allman Brothers, and they said that one of their biggest influences, or somebody that they got interested in, was Leon Russell, and that they were about to ask him to join the band or something of the likes like that, and then Elton John picked him up and took him on tour with him, you know.
Right.
So, you know, he could have fallen into obscurity and just been a legendary guy, you know, with all the 20 and under people not having any idea who he is, but, you know, Elton John was like, hey, come on tour.
Right.
You know, and that's happened with a bunch of musicians.
That's what my dad refers to as the black swan. You never know when something's going to fly through your world and change everything.
That's absolutely right.
Okay. I saw that you wrote something, Bill Murray. Okay. I have seen you go through these similar crises of faith/purpose before to varying degrees. Hopefully you're continuing typing over there. That's not your full statement, is it? Okay, Felonious. Hippie Fiasco may even provide answers to questions that haven't come up yet.
That's it.
Tide Mikey says, I think the most important thing as an artist is to express yourself into a product that you can and will always be proud of, regardless of how the success is measured. There's always that.
Tide Mikey.
Love and Larry. Yeah, well, there is no success formula when you're a musician and artist. Some people get lucky, but others work just as hard and are just as talented, and they keep struggling. Bill Murray loves Percy. Yes, I am thinking too. No, not full. Lefko 8. Nathan, it's too early to see the answers to Hippie Fiasco. Bill Murray says, I think Hippie Fiasco raises a lot of questions. Of course, there's the great hope for a sudden huge success, like if ABC picked you up or something. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Avery or Cynthia, be true to your heart. and be peaceful and happy if those things aren't present. Then, Tide Mikey, I think it proposes a wonderful fresh look at the normal way we see live music. Bill Murray, right, but then there are the little questions as the webcasts go on. Felonious Monk, maybe alcohol beverage control. Yeah, I was a little drunk last night.
I thought about that, Felonious.
What have you thought?
About that? Me?
Yeah.
Just that. Well, personally, I don't drink when I'm sad. It's because I'm just gonna be sad and drunk.
end up an alcoholic. Wallowing in self-pity and alcohol.
Yeah, it just if I'm sad, I'm sad, and I just know that like it'll pass eventually. But if I'm sad and drunk, then I'm just sad and drunk and fucking miserable.
Right.
Tide Mikey agreed at this point. Let's see. Love and Larry, I have a lot of friends who really struggle with this, though. The ones who are the most passionate struggle the most. Tide Mikey, do the Bernie. Bill Murray, Felonious is onto something. If I drink a lot and or frequently, I do get depressed. Lefko, it may not work or it may not have been shown to the right people. Michael, sir, I look back at all the people that stopped you after your second set at Delfest. You moved a lot of people that day. Tide Mikey, it's all a matter of chance. Like I said, the most important thing is for you to continue to pump out stuff you're proud of. That's all that matters. Bill Murray, or is there an age-old question, what is success? Tide Mikey, obviously one hopes once to earn a living off it as well. Oh, what's that idea? What's he on about over there? Who's the guy in the corner making sense? Love and Larry, yes, Tide Mikey, there you go. Felonious Monk, listen, what you guys are doing is incredibly hard, and I am amazed daily that you guys do it with a smile and a laugh 90% of the time. Love and Larry, right, keep doing your thing and eventually end up at the right place at the right time. Hopefully. Avery Cynthia, sometimes it seems clear, other times it's not clear.
I think that's true.
It's really two questions. Will Hippie Fiasco work, and is Nathan Moore being fulfilled by doing what he wants?
Well, yeah, I mean, check it out. Like, Liz randomly texted me last night and said, hey, can you give me and two other people a place to stay? We're going to fish. You know, and so I said yes, knowing that Liz is good people, that she probably wouldn't bring bad people to my home, you know? And so then I said to the bartender, hey, what do you think? I just said yes to these people, but I haven't told Brenda yet. And Brenda just signed the lease on this house, you know, and...
Sorry?
What?
Were you talking to Scotty?
No, I was talking to Meg.
Okay.
And, you know, she was like, oh, well, you should just contact her and ask her, you know. And it's like, I had already said yes. I didn't want to retract my offer of a place for you guys to stay.
Right.
And so then it was like Brenda texted me back, and she's like, oh, you already said yes, didn't you? This is uncool. I'm not down with it. And then, but, you know, she was having a bad night at work, or a stressful night at work. And so she was on her way from Langosa to the Saint, and basically said, hey, you know, you should have asked me first. And so, you know, me asking the bartender's advice was kind of stupid, because I know how to communicate with my woman, you know, and I should have just said, hey, 3 people are crashing, hope you're cool with it, or whatever, rather than posing it as a question after I'd already given the answer.
Right.
And so then, once she got home and settled down and had an after shift drink and just kind of was relaxing, it was like, oh yeah, no, I'm cool with this. You know, I'll make up the couches and make sure that there's sheets and towels and all that stuff for your arrival. And so, you know, all that was a question in your minds. You know, it's like Liz contacted me while you were still on stage. So
Right.
you probably had no idea of where you were going to end up for the night, you know? And Liz was like, hey, I'm going to contact somebody cool, put us up or whatever. And it's like, look how this has turned into. It's a beautiful day. You got a good night's rest.
Right.
You're having a meal. You're going to a concert. You're not necessarily focused on what you're doing as Nathan Moore in Hippie Fiasco. maybe you're getting a little bit of inspiration, or faith is renewed. That hey, cool, we're staying in a cool place rather
Right.
than having to get a hotel room and incur the tour expense and all that. Like that's what I want to be
It's
for
no doubt
artists.
about it.
Is a spot for people to catch a nice shower, get a good
Safe
night's
place.
rest. Yeah, a safe place,
Safe
a little,
place.
little safe house. Part of the rock and roll underground or whatever. So
What did I text you?
I don't know if you're going to come up with more questions or not than answers, but there is a world of mystery out there that the answers are unknown until you embrace it with faith that things are going to work out. So
Right.
I don't know exactly
it's
what
the
you're
faith thing.
Right,
When you have a crisis of faith.
right, and I don't know what you're exactly seeking with the whole hippie fiasco. It's to draw thousands to the webcast, or
A lot of
have
it for me was the fact that
your supporters
that
live
I
vicariously
for
through you.
for so long I had been very patient with a slow growth in my career, and like my mantra was just baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. It's great, it's cool, it's working, everything's baby steps. And
One
then
thing
in
at
the
a
last
time.
year or so, like I don't know, if turning 40 or any cliche things that have happened to me. I was suddenly like, all right, fuck the baby steps. I want to
I want a
make
big step.
I want a giant leap,
Right.
And so a lot of hippie for me was like, all right, here's a giant leap. Let's see what it makes. What kind of, and I mean, it's definitely, we've created a lot of energy from it, but I'm not exactly sure if at the end of it, it's going to be a great leap in my career at all, or just yet another baby step. And I'm not sure how I feel about that, just because. I mean, I don't know. It's a tough one for me to still not be able to completely support myself. I mean, I can, but not on a level where I ever thought I would be content with.
Right.
I mean, definitely still living in my family's basements and stuff, and doing it that way.
Right.
I can't really afford things.
Is music the only thing you do, or do you
Yeah.
get outside work when you're living?
That's all I do. Let me catch up with the chat here.
I think the all answers.
Oh wait, I lost a lot of chat. All right, let's see.
Good company. That's what
I mean,
it
I
says
think
you
the
need.
fact that you've written at
Good
least 5
company.
songs with Creepers using a stream is a remarkable feat. Love and Larry, what if it just is for the music itself? Was it all in vain? No! Tide Mikey, it's really inclusive, Tide Mikey, and I see no reason not to be super juiced about that. So I'm trying to catch up with you guys.
It's funny, we've talked about how this house can be like part of the rock and roll underground railroad,
Mm-hmm.
where the artists who are trying to expand their radius, expand their reach of music, and try to get to new listeners and get people passionate about their music. It's like, here's a spot where, yeah, maybe they might not make a lot at the gig, but they're not really incurring too much tour expense,
Love and Larry.
That's definitely like a key thing.
Absolutely. It's like, I don't know who these people are when I'm opening my door to them,
That's like what we,
but that's faith,
and that's what we've been doing a lot. That's what this tour is kind of based on. Is
people opening their doors.
people, like, because Epic Fiasco is booked by somebody who said, hey, come to my house and play a show. And, we get put up, they feed us. It's like, we're walking to these people's houses and we don't know
I mean,
anybody.
sorry, every time y'all chat, it scrolls back up and I can't get
Um,
back to where I was.
but yeah, so it's like very, very interesting. And I want my dreams to heart just to, like, have people just
Okay, everybody, stop chatting just for a second. Don't say anything, because every time a new post comes in, I want to catch up with what y'all are saying.
Well, like,
It's a big warm blanket.
I mean, like, several things can happen from me putting you guys up. I can reconnect with an old friend and give you guys a place to stay.
Love and Larry.
Or
I mean, I
can
think
meet
you're
Nathan
making
Moore,
it.
who's, you know,
Love and Larry. It
a
depends on
name
what you're
in the
trying to
San
get
Francisco
to.
Bay Area.
Bill Murray, I agree.
May
Love
not
and
be a
Larry.
name in New Jersey.
Love and
But maybe
Larry.
eventually a gig
I guess it would be nice
because
to
of
know
it.
you are
You know,
supported, sustained, but you'll never have that security. But the trade-off is you have wings that work and endless inspiration. Tide Mikey, I mean to quote my man Sprots, AC/DC, Beastie Boys, suck my dick. Tide Mikey, he has a great point. You are doing something really special. Love and Larry, to be grounded and supported is great, but you don't get the same drive, I think. Felonious Monk, what a guy. Tide Mikey's Sports FTW, maybe that's Sprots. Make me eggs, hey, make me eggs. I watched the Delfest video and you mentioned a thing about your dream being bigger or less comprised than the people who have the big stage. My question is, to what degree, in what way do you think that has affected your career thus far? Well said, Drew, Felonious says. I'm going to try to read all these and then come back and talk about them. Lefko, everybody I've told about Hippie Fiasco is amazed for a number of reasons. Tide Mikey, me too. They think it's really awesome. Love and Larry, wonder what about the trade-off. Do the really successful musicians have the same drive or inspiration? Avery, Cynthia, can't you guys designate days or outings when only one of you is with the camera so the others can take a media break? Love and Larry, I don't know. Something tells me no. That comes with age too, though, wanting to get things really rolling. Bill Murray, she was answering a different question. Right, but when do you expect the results? Felonious Monk, you could have been on the back of a $2 million Prevost bus while your roadies broke down your equipment and still had a moment such as the one at Delfest or the Brooklyn Backyard. Interesting.
That's true, but you're not also getting all the special connections that you're having with staying with people and people opening their doors to you and stuff like that. Like Liz was just talking about, where, hey man, last night, Bob Schneider, he's a name in Austin. I don't know how big he is out here. He's getting a little bit of radio play on WBJB, which is AAA radio, NPR stuff. But, you know, it's like he basically got off of his tour bus and walked onto stage. And there's like, oh, here's all these Bob Schneider fans. It wasn't a sold-out show at the same. So, you know, maybe there was 60 or 70 total paid for that show. So what's he seeking? Being on a Prevost bus,
right?
Walking into a venue and being like, "Oh, here's a bunch of fans. My guy over there is going to sell merch to him or whatever, and make a couple more bucks." You know, but he's not having more of an adventure. You know, it's like, "Hey, I got the comfort of the bus, and all right, we're in the next town, playing the next show."
Right.
Where you guys are having more of an adventure,
no doubt
real
about
life
that.
Experience.
Love and Larry, I think it must be extremely hard to have to be so very zen as a musician following your dream. Bill Murray, I think being a touring musician is a wee bit like being an independent consultant. Felonious Monk, how's that for a pick-me-up? Lefko, it might not have reached the right people. Bill Murray, Loves Percy, you need to be constantly investing in your image and keep people interested. Avery, Cynthia, you can come live with me and be my nanny. I'll pay you a lot and you could play music with my family. Bill Murray, Loves Percy, and you never know when your next paycheck is coming. Love and Larry, haha, Avery, I like it. Lefko, by the right people, I mean that are promotion, media, publicity savvy, and people that have the money to get this off a shoestring. Avery, Cynthia, right. The right people. Love and Larry, gotta get my kid at school. Bye, keep the love up. All right, we're caught up. There's one question back there a little ways.
You know, again, you're kind of taking the media, you're taking it out of the hands of the mainstream media and going direct to fans. You know, kind of like the Charlie Sheen reference I made.
Right.
Where, you know, I read this guy's thing. It was actually Pat Vale. Liz, you know Pat, put out Fabric Staircase and stuff. So there's the publication called The Idiom, and he wrote, he saw the Charlie Sheen show at Radio City Music Hall, and said, "Oh, people were stuffy. I went into the bathroom. Nobody washed their hands. Never a New Yorker's hands, and then he also saw the show like near Yale in Connecticut, and it was more like 4x4 trucks and people boozing in the parking lot talking about Charlie Sheen, not talking about the difference between Kettle One and Grey Goose vodka, which is what it was at Radio City.
Right.
And so, you know, it's interesting to see like the big city, who's attracted to the mental breakdown of Charlie Sheen, and really his show was interview, you know, with a random interviewer, and the difference between the two shows was completely wild.
Right.
You know, some guy with a harmonica came up to Charlie Sheen, who was like, "Let me play a song for you on harmonica," and people were like, "Boo, boo, get him out of here," you know, and like security took him away from the stage, and then Charlie Sheen was like, "Wait, that guy might be cool. Get him back in here. I want to hear his song." And the guy played like a blues riff on a harmonica and sang the Charlie Sheen blues or whatever, and like got a rousing ovation from the crowd. It's like you never know what's going to happen, kind of thing. But what you're doing, social experiment wise, is taking it direct to the people. So really, you need to just promote the hell out of, hey, we're doing this, you know, and broadcast that out before you actually do it, and then see where the impact is. I don't.
Right.
Maybe it will bring up more questions than answers, you know, but maybe you'll get more gig opportunities out of it. I don't know.
Where do we find these right people? Good question. Another question. Again, it may not wind up to be the idea, but I admire that you tried something really revolutionary and innovative. Hats off. Exactly. Grassroots anarchy. Bill Murray, exactly. I think you've created so many fans with this. Tide Mikey, my parents! Who knew?
Yeah, but you got to figure people are plugged into their TVs with 350 channels of shit on the TV to choose from.
Right.
And that's a phrase that I, you know, stole from Pink Floyd, but whenever I reference it, I tell people that's my phrase, you know. And so as a local promoter, it's hard for me to get people out. I can go, hey, Nathan Moore, big name in San Francisco or whatever, but really it would come down to, hey, who wants to see Liz, and the project that she's touring with is really what's going to get people out on a local level if I were to give you a gig at the same, which I'd like to do in the future. I don't know if, you know, this experience is going to make you want to come play the same, you know? I don't know if, you know.
No, I definitely want to play the same.
And I don't know if Surprise Me, Mr. Davis would be the project, or just Nathan Moore solo acoustic, or whatever, but there's obviously a gig opportunity if you were to go out on the road doing something like this again. It's like, now the people who are tuned in right now are like, oh, look, here's a local jam band promoter doing a 4-year series at the Saint, offering you a gig. That's kind of entertainment, really, when you think about it, because it's like they're watching it real time.
Right.
We're discussing it, and then if it comes up again, where you do Hippie Fiasco Rides Again Part 2, and you know they follow your tour, then it's like, oh, look, here's that gig that they were talking about. Yeah. And so it really is about the storylines. It's about you meeting Chris Robinson and at Applebee's, you know, and just having cool
That could still be the Black Swan, because he's going to be at High Sierra.
Well, he said he remembers your set from High Sierra.
Who knows? We might have a night picking at High Sierra.
Chris Robinson may play on your record.
He might.
Yeah, you never know, and that could be the Black Swan. And it's like, yeah, there's so many struggling musicians.
Black Crowes, Black Swan.
Maybe Natalie Portman will get interested. You know? But I think that's really what it is kind of the relationships that you're forging and the cool stuff that's happening to you. I mean, it's not, hey, look at our broadcast. It's still up 24/7, and you're looking at the dash of the car because, you know, it's not coming into the living room watching you guys sleep. So obviously people might check in and go, hey, there's nothing happening right now.
Right.
And then you can broadcast, hey, we're doing a round table or whatever, and more people log on because they know, you know. I think what you're doing is really cool. It's an interesting concept to be doing it 24/7.
It's way more transcendent than just streaming shows or whatever. It's a portal.
Right. It's a real life, true experience of what the artist is going through, as opposed to, hey, here's what we packaged to give you. It's like this is the real deal. because anything can be, you know, overproduced and glossied
These
up.
guys are on our. We have to stay with these guys too because the chat gets so far ahead while we're
Right.
talking. It's so hard to catch back up. Make Me Eggs said, "Pluck a tail feather," pointed it out to me, which is something I already know from listening to your songs for all these years, that a whole lot of your lyrics involve the word and the idea of home. On this tour, you've been visiting people's homes, coming into their day-to-day lives. Do you think that has made your question about what to do more intense? It's a good question. I haven't really thought about it that way. And this has no commercials, Tide Mikey says. Bill Murray says, that is the other thing I was thinking about the Park Slope fiasco. Which, Felonious Monk, there is something to that. I am callous, jaded, curmudgeonly chap whose attention usually can't even be bought, but this thing you've created has me riveted. Oh, bless you. Bill Murray says, fiascos are all about the fiasco holder's promotion skills. If you didn't have any Nathan Moore fans at the fiasco yesterday, I blame the host. When you guys played here, I worked my tail off, leveraged my 400 plus person mailing list, Facebook friends, made calls, talked to everyone, etc. Yodi Cat says, just got here, who's this guy? Lefko says, I just got back from Strawberry and I had a conversation with Charlie Cran about you. I told him what you were doing and he is also amazed. He also liked the CD I gave him of you last year. Michael Sir, your swan is disguised as a crow. Lefko, wait until after Strawberry before you have another crisis of confidence.
I don't think you can really control a crisis of confidence. You know, it's not like.
Is it a real crisis?
It's organic. I don't know. Bill Murray loves Percy Yodi. That is Liz's friend they're staying with. And
Drew Bear.
The last post so far, in my honest opinion, you may not be using your connections with other musicians enough. Everyone loved you at Delfest, musicians and others involved. It was amazing for me to see. Tide Mikey, yeah, let alone Joe Russo. Your biggest fan. I don't know. I think Russo got afraid of the cast. It was, you know, sometimes with what we're doing, people really embrace the cast and then wake up the next day like they slept with someone they wish they hadn't.
That's funny.
And I think that happened to Russo.
Russo.
Poor thing. PT really dogged him and all of us the next day, and themselves. They're just a mess. They're a bigger mess than I am.
Right.
Collectively. Make Me Eggs, do you think it's possible you are just ahead of the curve of this 24/7 webcast experiment way of touring? Like it will take the world a bit to catch up. Yodi, no way Russo loved the cast. Bill Murray, Russo didn't see the regular cast. He saw the hundreds of PT jerks. Tied Mikey, nice one, Nathan. Ooh, a new name. Ski Further. I think that Fiasco is actually the future of touring. Even well-known artists are exploring ways to blend life and performance.
That's it. Again, the Charlie Sheen thing, you know?
Right. Ski Further, you're a new name. Welcome aboard. Here we are, top of the second inning. It's Creepers 14, Lurkers 12. It looks like we're in store for a great game today. Welcome, Ski Further. Let's go, Creepers. Let's
Have
go.
you thought about pitching this with like sponsorship opportunity? Like, hey, Verizon, we're streaming with your phone.
We talk about that a lot. We joke about it a lot. But
would you look at it as more of like a sellout thing?
Hell no.
hell no.
Yeah, because I mean,
I think
that might be a way to do it.
At the beginning, and now we're sort of on the last leg. So at the beginning, we were full of those dreams. We're like, oh god, we're like the perfect iPhone versus the Droid thing. We're like the perfect using social networking.
Well, have you heard
transcend.
Atomic Tom? Did you see that video that they made on the New York subway with just their iPhones? Like, there was like a drum app, and the guy played drums on his iPhone. Like, all of them were just using iPhones as their instruments.
Right.
And they played their single. And then, next thing you know, like, Apple is picking them up to use them in a commercial.
Right.
Where I'm not saying that necessarily you would get that, but, you could say, hey, sponsored by Verizon, like a drummer gets sponsored by Zildjian cymbals.
Right.
Right. But definitely, without that kind of stuff, is
Try opening the phone book and looking up Verizon and calling them.
Right. No, I get that aspect too, but I'm sure that there's, people like how they're saying you're ahead of the curve with this stuff. I'm sure that there's, some sort of marketing department for companies like that say, new avenues marketing or something.
This is kind of what I was thinking about last night. Is all this stuff that so while we're in this, it's kind of like we're like in the middle of this, and we're very like occupied by what we're doing. And I was thinking last night that like once this is over, there's going to be this period of time when we're just going to like realize the potential that it had. We all realize the potential that it has.
It's building on that potential.
But
for
yeah,
the next
but like there are things that like happen afterwards that like getting little snippets out to the right people and like posting, like it's not dead after we sever the 24/7 stream. It just doesn't die. There's still if we want to really play with this some more, there's still a lot of work. Like possibly putting together something for marketing and
is this like a podcast too, where people can go back and watch days?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Avery Cynthia says, I see the future, and in it all my musician friends are beyond successful. I like that. Don't break that crystal ball. Tide Mikey, yeah, I think there are plenty of opportunities. Bill Murray says, I think you guys need to tough it out until the 4th, not make any big decisions, and sleep for a month. I think you're right.
Bill Murray. Yeah.
And I didn't necessarily wake up this morning feeling that way.
Is this the Bill Murray we're talking
No.
about?
Let's go. I agree. Bill Murray, let the pieces fall and try to make something cool out of it.
I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, it would suck if
Kind of like
if
our West Coast
if we bailed on the if the story was we didn't finish. I'd rather just crawl into High Sierra with a white flag of surrender than not. Let the pieces fall.
Imagine if somebody like
Tide
Jack
Mikey,
Kerouac
here.
had this,
Just because the car is sputtering doesn't mean that's a bad thing. If there hadn't, there'd be no song. Lefko, let me catch up. You need to talk with people who have the connections and can deal with the new. Listen, guys, this whole idea about the right people and all that kind of shit. I've been touring for 20 years. All you do is look for the right people. That's what you're doing. You're trying to be present with your eyes open and shining as bright as you can at all times, meeting every single person. I've given away more business cards in the last 20 years than I've had, I don't know, follicles of hair cut off my head. That's an obvious thing, but like I say, try looking up Verizon in the phone book. Give a call to your local record company, see if they want to invest in Nathan Moore.
What about Jam Base? Would they give you a little sponsorship?
They helped a lot.
They're bros.
Right, but labeling this as a hippie fiasco sponsored by Jam Base, and really really get the tour dates out there.
Just like this hiccup didn't just like if this hiccup didn't happen, there'd be no ... whatever is the next awesome thing that comes out of it. Michael says, in short, all good books, movies. Oops. Lost you guys again. In short, all good books, movies, and songs usually raise more questions than answers. It's what makes them good for the soul. Hippie Fiasco is good for the soul. Gotta run to a meeting. Go get him, Tiger. Ski further. I look at Fiasco as an extension of Facebook and Twitter with the logistic difficulties of keeping tour playing in standard venues. Guerrilla touring is a way to take back control by letting go. Bill Murray, you say you've been touring for 20 years, but how long has Nathan Moore been a real touring act? I'd say 6 years, 7 years. Make me eggs. The question is not about practicality, it's about his heart.
Right.
Bill Murray says it's like the Bar Brothers when they get frustrated. Lefko says yes, but there is no model for what you are doing. Bill Murray says they keep making new brands and have to repave the road. Nathan Moore fans are not necessarily the same folks as Davis fans or the Amusement fans. Yodi Cat, hey Yodi. But things are different now. What you earned with Hippie Fiasco is credibility. You are a person of interest now. There's reason for people to talk about you and be associated with you. That catches us up to the tweets, but here we are, bottom of the third, and it's now Lurkers 18 to Creepers 14. The Creepers are falling a little bit behind, but they still look determined to win.
The Creepers are who?
The Creepers communicate with us, and the Lurkers just watch.
Just watch, yeah.
I think one of the questions still happening is whether or not I'm gonna puke.
Mm-hmm.
Will
You
we
haven't
ever
puked yet?
get an answer to that?
That's
God.
good. Unless you're looking to puke
No, I'm looking.
randomly.
I'm looking and really, truly.
Ski further, I hear you about always looking for the right people. As a performance photographer, I do the same thing. The key is remembering that the next person
Right.
might be the right person.
Whatever.
That's always the truth. That is always the case. It's like I say, my dad calls it the black swan. The black swan is the thing that changed your life that you never see coming. But that right person. I'm really pissed off at that person right now. This right person. When I do finally meet him, I'm gonna punch him square in the face. Where the fuck have you been? Who the hell do you think you are now? You're late, and it's not better than never. Oh, Jason Booth, +1 creeper, 15 to 16. Here we are, going into the top of the fourth. Tide Mikey, I'm really going to get my dad to try and pull strings at the New Yorker. He was convinced they could do a great piece about you, and I think he knows folks there from working in publishing. Yeah!
That's like kind of what my stepfather said. You remember, like my grandfather was such a, fucking haphazard genius of a character, he's just, weird and out there, and just, you do anything, they'd write letters to fucking, M&M's or Mike and Ike's or something, and be like, oh, we got a box full of Bowling Green Mike and Ike's, dude, what the fuck, I want some red in there, and then they'd send them, tons and tons of Mike and Ike's, So my grandfather was just, fucking write to people and, complain or just be like, this is what I'm doing. And that's something, when we first started this, I was like, we should really be writing to every local newspaper that we're going to be. And
Yeah, do you have a publicist on this?
No, well, no. See, that's the thing. It's just the three of us, and there's a lot of stuff. We should have somebody sitting at home at a desk, Facebooking everything that we're doing, pretty much, instead of us doing that on the road. Obviously, there are there's holes that we can't fill ourselves.
We're so taxed by this thing. I really like the those moist towelettes, the toilet paper that come in a little box, and I ran out about 6-7 days ago.
You are now running on reserve battery power.
And I always have those, but I ran out about 6 or 7 days ago, and just the little stop by the store to pick up some more, there's not been a moment for that.
Right.
There's just not been a moment for that a little run to the store to get this thing that I want to have. But festivals, driving late for the gig, perpetually catching up to ourselves. Much less
catching up with the
much
chat.
And much less writing letters to publishers or to Verizon or all the millions of things that we could be doing.
Right. Well, I don't think that you should get disheartened by this because it's the first web broadcast that you're doing, as far as perpetual broadcast. And I think that if you have an archive, then you can go, hey, look at what we did. How can you help us make this bigger or more widely cast or whatever? Because I think you're onto something for sure.
Is there
on this side? I don't think there is.
No, you might have to move the computer inside.
How about on the other side of the porch?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure there's a fairly
outlet.
active ant colony over on the side of the porch, and I wouldn't want to sit down.
Are we making everybody seasick right now with that?
Probably.
There's one.
Does that work?
I think so.
But again, just so you know, there is like a fairly active ant colony going on.
Are they biters?
No, they're black
Okay.
ants.
Like, is that working? I was gonna get
Yes. Had to plug you guys in. We'll change the venue.
Yeah, put that.
I'll
on
take the
couch.
filter off so you can see the lake here in a second. Okay. Catch up with you guys.
Fucking A, man.
What's the site that you're running right now?
It's all we do it through Ustream.
Is there like a link name Ustream?
For which part?
Because I'll go post it to Facebook.
Oh, definitely just hippiefiasco.com.
Hippie Fiasco.
With a Y.
With a Y. I was proud of him. He spelled it right on the board this morning. Okay, Felonious Monk, your talents with technology should not be overlooked either. Editing video, website building, integrating Google Maps, calendar functions, photography, Twitter, and Facebook updates. Thanks for noticing, Monk.
Yo, there is an outlet down by the dock.
Oh, nice.
So
That'd be a nice move.
Ooh.
the actual chairs that aren't.
Tide Mikey, he loves bringing the traveling troubadour back into action, thinks they could use you as a basis for a whole piece about that tradition. Amen. Make me eggs. Hey, so break it down. What's the benefits of writing, singing, and touring, whether it works or not? And what's the benefit of retiring and calling it complete for a more stable day-to-day? There, that's getting to the heart of things right there. And how you are incorporating the new technology. Ski further. I was a network admin one day on the next I was on tour with Bruce Springsteen taking photos. For some, I'm now the right person. It's a circle that goes on and on. Felonious Monk, and you do all of the above that I listed by yourself rather than hiring people to do it. It has been immensely valuable to this endeavor. Yeah, because I can't afford to pay the people. That's how I learned to do all this shit. Jason Booth, you need to work the press manually sometimes. When we released Rock Band, the Beatles, the New York Times didn't want to do an article on us, so one of our publishers drove a PA 60-inch HD TV in the game to one of the editors' houses and set it up. Wow, look at that. Bill Murray, for the record, the oldest Nathan Moore solo show I have, except for one High Sierra Music Festival set from 2003, is from late 2007. Oldest on the archive is 2008.
Bill Murray knows his shit.
Look, Nathan, I hate to tell you this, but you haven't been doing this nearly as long as it feels like you have.
Let's go down by the dock.
Jason Booth, not only did we get the article, but we had the title, The Most Important Video Game Ever Made. Wow. That's an inspiring story. Tide Mikey, I'm a writer and avid reader of The New Yorker. If I wrote a good piece, do you think you could get it published? Ski further. I do have a question. Can I take some photos of Hippie Fiasco in the lot at PNC today?
Who said that?
Ski further.
Yeah.
I don't see why not. Tide Mikey, I can't guarantee it, but it's worth a fucking shot. Yep. Then a fucking shot it is. I'll get on it. You guys kick ass. Add the ants to the lurker category. No, come on, creepers need them. Tide Mikey, I think the best angle is to do a whole piece about troubadours and how Nathan is ushering that role into the modern era. MST, what's up? Hey, Nathan, for whatever it's worth, I can relate. You and I are a month apart and guitar slingers. We need our black swans. My question for you is, do you have a publicist? No, we do not. Jason Booth, unfortunately, the world is increasingly about marketing instead of talent. It might have always been true. Bill Murray, yes, the talented are left to figure it out for an ever smaller piece of the pie. Jason Booth, well, some of this comes with giving everyone the camera, mic, whatever, right? We live in a new day of that, right? I remember vividly when watching TV from a child on, there was like a point in time when your normal everyday person suddenly became good on TV. Before that, whenever a camera would hit somebody, they would just be like, "Oh no, I'm not a T. I just watch TV. I'm not." But then I forget when exactly it was, but all of a sudden I started seeing just people in general ready to perform whenever the camera got put on them. It was an interesting shift culturally.
So,
Yeah, I do. I'm just trying to get caught up, and I want more coffee. Well, thank you. Well, some of this comes with giving a Yodi Cat PM me, and I'll give you my email. Nice. Then all I need to know is your location and when you land in the lot. I'll follow you on Twitter. Okay. We will tweet. Let's make this shit happen. New Yorker, wherever, people should read about this. Now, wouldn't that be amazing to get a New Yorker story? That could be that. That could be a black swan. I'm going to sit by the lake. Hopefully, the wireless will reach as well.
There's one over there.
Is that the one?
What website are you broadcasting on?
It's hippiefiasco.com.
Oh, so you're just doing a live stream right off
Our website, yeah.
I used to do Stick'em a lot.
What is it?
Stick'em? It's like a just video chat website.
Uh-huh.
So,
What was the video?
The terminology of the lurkers and the creepers and whatnot.
Bill Murray, I'd settle for Relics. We were talking about them about doing a fiasco at Relics, and the editor was into it, but the timing didn't work out right. Nah, I'm alright. Mikey, you're not a friend, so how will I find you for a PM? Who are you on Facebook? Oh, you can PM right here. I think you just click on the name on the side or something. Hi, Mikey. My dad has written movie reviews for New York Times, and the New Yorker has reviewed some of his books, so he definitely knows people, at least to send it to. Make me eggs. You ever look at a model for the narrative arc in literature for an adventure story? Might give you some fun insight into which stage you're on, about to head back west. Like what? I'm intrigued by that thought, but I'm not quite sure I get it. Alright, I'll click that link now and check it out later. Where are we in the arc of the tale? I mean, it's sort of interesting that you say that, because I do confess that a part of me was willing to be even more vocal about my doubts and things like that because of the arc of the narrative that we're telling. And that's almost the only reason I didn't feel completely terrible about the whole thing, is because it's not necessarily the wrong time to be asking these questions.
Well, good morning, Chad Meister. Pretty well, man.
Right. Dark Night of the Soul and the Archetypal Hero's Journey.
Yo, just so you know, there's a bunch of ants around there. Wouldn't want to see you get
Carried away.
Thank you. Exactly. Yeah, you must have scared them off. Maybe they followed us, like, you know, little ant. Wow. Maybe I was just tripping out or something.
There's something Make Me Egg said earlier. No.
Yo, did you see there's breakfast for you over there, man?
I'm trying to find something Make Me Egg said a little while ago.
About the ants?
Hey, so break it down. What's the benefits of writing, singing, and touring, whether it works or not? And what's the benefit of retiring and calling it complete for a more stable day-to-day? I think that's a sort of baseline question that is really interesting to ask. I mean, it's when you're with a band, there is definitely the reality that you're making music together with some other people, and there's a camaraderie, there's a gang-like mentality almost. It's your squad, it's your little gang traveling through the world, your posse. There's something Wild West about it. And there's something, of course, very Wild West about the lone troubadour. But I guess the question does haunt at times as to exactly why you do it. Is it because you think you have something to say that the world needs to hear? Is it something that you just can't help but do? I think a lot of times I lack a lot of clarity in terms of that. I don't have a message. I don't have a cause. I don't even necessarily, have the confidence. I have a compulsion to write, and that creates a compulsion to share. Those things I think are genuine, but then when I get out in it, the constant night after night trying to be special, trying to be precious, things like that, can get very confusing because after a while it all blurs and I start to lose sight of I'm not comfortable with getting into this place where I have this thing to offer and the world has to hear me or those kinds of things. They can get very confused in me. That's why it definitely helps when the world demands things from me. Yeah, let's see. I can't imagine Nathan giving up and doing an office job. Come on, make me an offer. I'll kick ass. Ha ha ha. YMCA? I think it's the YMCA was below minimum wage. P.S. Tide Mikey, I think it's because the world needs to be awed outside of their daily lives. Yodi, you're at your best when you're with a band. You seem so alive, and your songs that are nice folk songs turn into major anthems. Tide, and some people happen to be born with the power to awe. Totally Yodi, says Bill Murray, and if they don't feel incomplete. Bill Murray, I was more than a little bummed that Davis didn't get their album out quickly and get some touring in. I think we were hearing the Slip was on hold for Davis, but now it seems all about the Barr Brothers and Davis has been relegated to a side project status. Yep, that is very true. The Barr Brothers are off and running without us. They've sort of made that call. The Slip was on hold because they were tired of pushing the stone up the hill just to watch it roll back down. Right. Look at Dale Feather, there are a lot of rad jobs that don't happen in offices. Why do we equate job with office? There you go. These are all good thoughts.
Did I notice you didn't put milk in your coffee this morning?
No, it was just my third cup.
Okay.
And rad jobs that happen in offices. Yep. I think there's a lot of things.
Really?
I think there's a lot of things I could do that I would be really. I think I could be part of a team in all kinds of multimedia enterprises, and I think I would be an asset, and I think I would really enjoy it. I, whether I think I could be a cameraman, I could help editing. There's like Monk was saying earlier, I got some chops, and I think it would be interesting to be invested in something that wasn't me, and I wasn't out there putting all my energy into trying to make me into something. I think that is a very weird proposition sometimes, and I think I don't get comfortable with it. It's a weird thing, something that screwed me up almost more than anything else a lot of times is not a bad moment that I spiral out of when I'm performing, but an amazing moment. And a lot of times those amazing moments confuse me just as much as the bad moments because I just don't know what any of it means. And I get really confused putting so much energy into building me up.
That is a weird thing.
It's a very weird thing, and I'm not.
Especially when half the time you don't really don't. You say that people who like your music scare you. You're like, why?
Then again, all my top 5 heroes that I would mention, thank you, are individual names. It's you got your Leonard Cohens and your Tom Waitses and your Bob Dylans and your John Prines and your Towns Van Zants and your Nick Drakes, and the list goes on and on and on. Of company I would love to consider myself a part of. So it's that is all very strange, very strange. Um, of course, they were all in a way a little bit better blessed than myself. My dad calls me the Pete Rose of folk music, so I think they got to spend their first couple of years out there beating the pavement and making themselves known, and then very quickly got caught up in a very nice situation where the promotion of them as individuals was handled by other people entirely, and they just had to find that space within their own inspiration and creative output, which that I think I could do.
Chad.
Wait.
Sorry.
Here's something I was thinking too. Everything is a trade-off. Make me act. Sounds like part of the fluctuation between isolation and communion that comes to being an artist. It's a weird and wild and weird thing. Weird thing. And everything has its price. If you're following your dream, you have what most of us only dream, but not very stable or sustainable. Tide Mikey. I don't. I have one life, and I don't want to be on phones or computers the whole time as I type on my computer. Jason Booth. I do. The computer is the ultimate toolbox. Tide Mikey. I also write all my music using a computer, basically, so I blatantly realize my hypocrisy. Bill Murray. The music industry is so different now. Yep. Tide Mikey, I just want to be out fucking side as much as possible. Jason Booth, and why are you inside on the chat? Love and Larry, why don't you do some songwriting gigs for other artists? I don't know what that means. You're so good at that. My songs are out there. I've done more to make my songs available and accessible than anybody I've ever known. My entire life's work is streaming for free on my website with a searchable database of chords and lyrics and MP3s. I could definitely see Nathan writing for some other people. Love and Larry. Hush up, woman, I'm trying to read. Tide Mikey, because Jason, I'm relegated to taking care of my girlfriend's dog while she goes to lunch with her mom. That's a terrible excuse. Jason, you made that choice, Mikey. Love and Larry, we think alike, booty. Tide Mikey, haha, I did. She's a cutie, though. Jason Booth, there's a difference, though. Write for someone else's style and voice. Meaning other artists would hire you to write. I suck at that. I'm terrible at that. That's right. I coded that PHP. Ski further. Being the Pete Rose of folk music can still be a good thing. Remember, Christine Levine did all of her own promotion for years and became, at the time, the #1 artist on Rounder. Tide Mikey, please tell me how to do that. That's all I want to do. I'm great at the writing, the rest not so much. Ski further because she sold so many CDs at shows. Misty, I'm trying to get tunes up there for limited license use. That's been happening for some acts I know. It pays and you still own your tune. It's kind of the new wave. Zoe sang Dear Puppeteer the whole ride home from school. I only sang it to her once. That to me is success. Nice one. Fist pump.
Hopefully you got a couple more creepers and lurkers.
Oh, nice.
My Facebook.
Yeah, we're up to 30 total. Here we are, bottom of the fourth. It's Creepers 15 to Lurkers 16.
I'm stealing another.
Lurkers went up with a go-ahead run. Woo!
Hey, I noticed that we're playing Liberate. You played my festival the night before.
Wait, what's Liberate?
The Vermont Festival in August.
All right. I think that's where we're starting that run, and
Well,
then we're going into Canada.
If you want to start it at my festival just west of Trenton the day before, we can put you on that, and then you can shoot up to Vermont.
You probably don't have the budget. It's hard to get those guys out, the whole band.
Well, even if it was just Nathan Moore.
Right. You probably got the budget for that.
That'd be cool, Nathan.
Super cool.
Paul Reed, Jason Booth says, Paul Reed Smith got his start in building guitars by creating a guitar for Santana. He kept making ones, bringing it to him, getting his feedback, then would go make another. Lefko, I don't think the new model for making money in the music business has been revealed yet. Jason Booth, once Santana was playing live with them, he went to the bank, got a loan, and started PRS. Sometimes you have to do it first, worry about the hiring part later. Right. Tide Mikey, I don't think there is one, Lefko, unless you are a dancer and have big boobs. Ashley MC, that is success, Love and Larry. After my daughter heard Nathan the first time, all she wants to do is listen to him sing his songs. She loves it, even had to watch while we were eating supper last night. Haha. I'm sorry, that was my breakdown set. I'm sure kids love that, right? Oh, is Nathan gonna break down again, Mommy? Tide Mikey, gotta have a Beyonce booty. I got that. That's the one thing I got. I'm confident in my Beyonce booty. There was one until it got fucked up by lazy ass execs. Jason Booth, there's still money to be made, mostly in playing live and drawing large crowds. Right? Yeah, that's.
Well, we got that.
Lefko sounds like a great opportunity for whoever figures it out first. Jason Booth, but the jumps between crowd sizes are really hard. Bill Murray says, unless you get tapped by the star-making machine, you just have to tour and sell merch.
Oh, really?
Jason, most bands can't get past the 800-person venue. Bill Murray, and I've been amazed at how many big bands have gotten smaller. You know, that's definitely happening. Lefko, Yodi, that's the guy who will make all the money. Love and Larry, the slip couldn't, unfortunately, make me eggs. I got some advice one time that was about chasing love, but I have an idea it might work for art too, which is that you have to legitimately, truly, all the way stop caring if you ever find it. Then she will arrive.
That's true.
Bill Murray, Fish, for example, hasn't even sold out their show tonight. Make me eggs, but so much of success in art is about constantly working towards the goal. What do you think? Maybe success might arrive once you truly give up caring if it does.
I think Fish would have sold out tonight if tonight was Friday instead of Tuesday.
Bill Murray loves Percy, and these days Fish is playing much smaller venues in a lot of markets.
That's true.
Even a band like the Black Crowes is playing much smaller venues on recent tours than they did back in the day. MST says the Cheeksters, who play for a few people locally from time to time and put records out, licensed a tune for $30,000, which caused them to get other deals. True, just like you only find love once, you give up looking. I'm not. It's a tough one. I mean, maybe I feel like I want to say that I've stopped caring before and it didn't work, but maybe I didn't not care long enough. Is is there a time frame on that?
The rationale behind that not caring about love has to do with attracting someone,
Right.
and if you're aggressive, and this, I'm sort of removed. I like the comparison to to other things, especially into music and what Nathan's doing. But what I'm going to say, it doesn't work. The comparison doesn't work. But the reason why not caring about someone works when you're trying to attract one person is because when you're overly aggressive at grabbing somebody, they instinctually move away, and that's what that. Whoa. What is that setting? Is the screen really dirty? Killer. Hi, Chad Galactic here from 1950.
Well,
Sitting on unpolluted dock.
Or maybe it's just about enjoying yourself and being happy on your own, being blah blah blah. MST, offer a publicist a percentage if they can get you licensing deals. Your music is very marketable for that, much more than mine. Jason Booth, when we made Guitar Hero, we thought it might sell 100,000 copies at most. We'd been okay with that. We didn't expect it to be a success. We focused on doing something good.
What inning are you in?
Tied Mikey, I'd say bottom of the fourth. I want a fucking Hohner clavinet with a mixer phase 90 pedal, like my man Page. That's what I want. Love and Larry. The best is when musicians are having fun and happy. That's when the music is killer. Of course.
When they're liquored up and their rider's been fulfilled.
Definitely, you don't want to see a doubtful rock star. You want them to be the pirate on the front of the boat. The Black Eyed Peas on the Super Bowl totally sucked, but they were full of themselves.
That's true.
Nathan, another thing you could try is taking some of your songs and rework them a la bootleg series that might re-inspire something to make you work like a demon.
Do you think you're going to do any songwriting after this fiasco?
I've been writing a lot during it.
That's cool. Performing the songs that you're writing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Make me, because I agree, Chad, that's how it works when you're trying to get one person. I'm talking about something a little more abstract than that. Jason Booth, you get good at marketing by selling shit. It's too much for one person to be marketing, writing, and performing. I agree, Lefko, just because someone is super into what they're doing doesn't equal it being good. But if it is good, right, then they are also into it, and they are also into it, then it makes it better. That's true.
Have you heard of this guy Bob Left Says?
And Felonious Monk says, I would like to thank Chad Galactic for his just the tip input.
Input. What did I say?
This guy has like an email blog, Bob Left Says, or something. He's
Oh, yeah.
in LA. And he was talking the other day about Frank Zappa and how Frank Zappa became popular because friends were turning friends on to Frank Zappa. It wasn't mass marketing that did it. It was more like, hey, take these headphones and listen to this song.
Right.
You know, and I think that that's a lot of what the music industry is right now.
it's totally. I mean, that's what fit happened with Fish.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Flanny says, I love to hate Bob Left.
I love to hate him too, but sometimes he has interesting stuff. You know, I thought that was an interesting comment on his stuff. I don't even know who he is. Somebody just said, "Hey, you need to subscribe to this blog."
Oh, thank you, Make Me Eggs. He says, I also just want to say that you really do write really fucking good songs. Titan Mikey says, Amen. Love and Larry says, I think you have arrived. Titan Mikey says, some of the best songs of the last 10 years. Love and Larry says, a long time ago. Cheers. Also, if someone can make no confidence interesting, then that would be successful.
Make no what?
Having no confidence. Lefko. Ty Mikey, hands down, I don't care if I'm a music critic or schmuck, I know it. Lefko, same with the Grateful Dead. Jason Booth, most real art spreads virally. That's true. Bill Murray, yes, you write some great songs. Oh, thank you very much. Ashley, agrees. Bill Murray loves Percy. I wouldn't be here today if you didn't. Ski further. I'm out. Looking forward to seeing you guys in a lot. We'll look for you.
Yeah, what?
What will you be wearing?
You'll find us.
Nice.
Look at that. Dream seeker.
Ask and you shall receive.
Classic.
What is it? Beef jerky?
I was just making the analogy that I ran out of my little moist towelette, you know, those things in my box like 6 or 7 days ago, and we really have not had time in the last 6 or 7 days to just stop by the store to pick up some more. With that little tiny task that's just insignificant, but when we talk in the context of all these greater things that we could be doing,
Right,
you know,
and we can't even.
I haven't been able to stop at the fucking store for a second to pick up something I want.
Right. I think the advantage of this whole thing, whether or not this is a huge success by whatever litmus tests they are, I mean, obviously we have to like finish excitedly, which High Sierra is going to help with, and coming back to some super friendly turf.
Right.
Is going to really.
It'll be nice to end on a
Dude,
the high note that the rest is gonna.
The from fucking like now. I mean, it's now and all the way back, except for the fucking drive from New York to Colorado. It's all gonna be fucking epic, stellar shit.
Right.
It really is. It's
Right.
all good friends and fucking super fans and people who have really good ideas on their fiasco form,
Right.
and like. It's going to end really amazingly. You know, that doesn't make up for like lots of money that was lost driving to super long drives and you know hard periods of you know stuff like that didn't you know. But it's all like an experiment, this thing. And what's going to happen is we're going to end up with so much fucking rad shit, and we're going to be able to do rad shit with it. You know, I mean, it could end up like nobody's gonna hear about it now. You know, it's just unless we got lucky. You know what I mean? Because we haven't done anything really except for this and Facebook and mailing lists and stuff like that. And it because good shit takes a while to catch on anyway, no matter what.
Plus, you can define what you have from all this.
From the archive.
Yeah, from
Right.
the archives, where you can be like, hey, bonus footage on a DVD, you know, behind the scenes kind of stuff, if you wanted to put some of the performances out, you know.
But
The trick to going viral is somehow to get your jazz in front of folks who normally wouldn't stumble upon it. Ski further says, just tweet where you are in the lot and I will find you. I'll be wearing 2 big-ass cameras. Love and Larry says, I love your vulnerability and I will kick your ass, Nathan Moore, if you start feeling ashamed for your meltdown. Bill Murray says, I'm just here because I read on PT that the duo is going to play.
That's why I'm here.
Then everybody laughed. Good one, Bill Murray. Lefko, what was the alternative to Hippie Fiasco? There wasn't really one. There wasn't necessarily an alternative.
Well, that's
called the GOP.
You were gonna do that musical, right?
Right. Make me eggs just for fun brainstorming. You ever think of flipping the Fiasco model where you guys are home using the webcast to broadcast it to scheduled fiascos? Mostly kidding, but fun thought. That's what I thought. I thought that about that this morning. It's like, oh, fuck, maybe I could just give up, go home, and once a month host a fiasco from my dad's basement where my beard is slowly growing to my belly button.
Hey, it's working for me.
Right. Chad, good shit takes a while to catch on, totally.
I mean, and we're gonna have so much rad footage, and we're gonna be able to do something with it.
Yodi Cat says, eggs, I think you're on to something. Love and Larry, be fun to use Mark's idea and project the chat on the ceiling of featured fiasco. Oh, that's a good idea.
Maybe. I could get hairy.
All right. Depends on whether or not it's advertised on PT or not.
Right. Hot wings. Yeah, just anybody.
I think you got to pitch Digit the Midget as a sponsor for a finger puppet company. That's right. We got a lot of letters to write, huh? Lefko, I hope you do fiascos occasionally from your home from now on. Tide Mikey, not big bucks, but why not? And they'd obviously say yes with the right footage. MST, a periodic basement fiasco would be both smart and fun. Keep the ball rolling. Then smaller regional fiascos based around your other events like you're doing. This has been a nice, healthy roundtable discussion.
Somebody
You need to
taking
keep the
notes?
channel going, have periodic scheduled shows. Would that be the same? Is that even possible? Pluck a tail feather. Man, I really wish I had some good advice. I can't figure out how to participate. Arg. Yeah, I'm just glad you're here.
Well, Pluck a Tail Feather, you were involved in one of the raddest moments of the whole thing. You would Make Me Eggs. That was such a spectacular moment in the big picture of hippie fiasco. The fiasco-ogram. That was awesome.
What was it?
Make Me Eggs. We were driving. We were in Jersey going to Liz's mom's house, and Make Me Eggs called the hotline and said, "You're 20 minutes from where I'm at. Pull up the first rest stop, and I want you to sing a song to Pluck a Tail Feather." So we sat and waited. Did it. This was awesome.
It was a complete roadside spontaneous fiasco.
Nice.
It's like, I'm following you now. Just get off on this exit. I'll be right there. He gave us $60 to sing a song to his lady on the West Coast.
Nice.
Right from the parking lot.
Very cool.
Very cool.
That's super fan.
That's amazing shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't happen with regular
Make Me X
stuff.
says it was all Pluck being worth all the love.
Oh,
Cute. Felonious Monk says, don't underestimate the power of that studio session type stuff like what you and Marco did at the Big Woody. That was amazing, and I swear that 5 hours felt like 20 minutes from this side of the LED. Thanks, man. Once again, AC/DC Beastie Boys suck my dick. Would they sing a song for someone in a parking lot? No.
Yes.
I'm still so happy that went. Yeah, me too. MST,
Yeah,
well, I gotta go visit the local music store. I feel your frustration, Nathan. I'm there too. I must say I admire the fiasco model. Keep it up. Thank you, MST.
Yeah, it did, man. Kung Fu put on a hell of a performance. Nice.
Here we are, bottom of the fourth inning, and the Lurkers have just had a grand slam home run, taking them up to 19. It is now Lurkers 19, Creepers 13. Will they run away with it? It's hard to say. Tide Mikey, I honestly think, too, that at the right place you could combine the magic and music. Working on it in a really sweet way.
Right.
Oh, thank you, Love and Larry. Talk about success. You created an environment where all these cool folks are having these interesting ideas.
That's cool.
Amen. I feel you there.
just have to figure out.
Yodi Cat says, I have lots to say, but I can't be coherent in this forum. Can I send you email, Nathan? Absolutely. Nathan@nathanmoore.org.
I might. Would you be able to bring people? That's the biggest question. You know?
Well, guys, it means a lot to me
Yeah, we're just west of Trenton.
that I would. You want to see the real world? Okay. Take away the question mark. Take away the blueprint.
Cool. Would it behoove you to have advance tickets for the event?
Not too shabby, huh? Love you, Tide Mikey. And just to finish that thought while you're still there, thank you. That's the thought. Thank you all. Means a lot to me to see this many people show up for this little roundtable conversation.
Cool. You have tickets already?
And to hear all those ideas. Just means a whole lot.
Cool.
And I will never doubt in the greater sense that Hippie Fiasco is telling the story, is going to finish the story.
Yeah, I mean
in a positive way, and that it's a
loss with our festival.
It's a beautiful big deal.
Ago, so I really
no matter,
looking for bands
even if no one ever heard it, the story is being told. But seeing all you guys in here reminds me that there's not a chance that no one's going to hear it. It's already not happened.
It's going to be a legend.
Yes. The legend of Hippie Fiasco.
Right.
I'm wide open. I'm ready.
Right.
Right. I suppose there will always be more questions than answers. It's our existential nature.
Right.
And I think it was really well said that even if I was on a Prevost bus with a legion of staff and crew and publicists and everything, that I could still sit at the table in that Prevost and have a crisis of faith and purpose.
Well, this is
easily.
It's totally easy to see. I mean, it's happened. I've been on the bus with it. It's the same exact shit.
Right.
The reality of what we're doing is It's super mentally taxing, regardless on how big a paycheck is and how many people are there to tie your shoes. It's. I mean, we're run down like crazy. I mean, this camera's been on 3.5 months. We were 3 weeks before that doing the opening slot for Today and More with ALO. And now we find ourselves, like right about, in an analogy to running a track race, like the miles 4 laps, we're 3 laps down and everybody's starting to speed up and like kick it into the finish line, and we're dead. I mean, it's really hard, and then when your brain is tired and it can't fight off the natural feeling of purpose and bigger pictures and things of that nature. That's when one is susceptible to question themselves and what they're doing.
Right.
So it doesn't matter where we're at, what status we've achieved
Pluck a Tail Feather says, also worth mentioning, even the existential struggle is a privilege. It's easy to forget that. I hear that. I can take that. Hey, K Ducey. Agreed, Chad. Sam still has meltdowns on tour, and he's on a fancy tour bus and works with several crew people. Life on the road is hard. No doubt.
I mean, it might even be harder. Because in the scenario where you have reached the level of buses and teams of
The
people,
predictability can kill you.
yeah, I mean, it's like
We're on an actual adventure that can
a
take
serious
crazy.
schedule.
Whoever thought we'd be by this beautiful lake
Right.
today?
I mean, we're killing it right now. This is, I mean, any one of you would want to be sitting here. And I guarantee you that whoever
Yes.
your favorite band member is, or anybody who's working on whatever tour, they're not here. They're sleeping in their fucking coffin bunk, listening to headphones, watching a movie, and still struggling the same way.
Felonious Monk says, do you think that maybe being at Delfest forced you into a state of comparing yourself to other acts and where you were placed in the ladder, and that may have been the impetus for your mindset? I think that has more to do with it than maybe anything else.
Yep.
If I hadn't done Delfest, I don't think I would have gone into this mindset in the same way. But it was definitely true. I was the dude that played first on the side stage. Early in the day, and then I got to go over and watch people I've been touring beside for years do their thing on the big stage, and it affected me. As much as I just wanted it to be an honor to have been included, and I do think I might have been the only solo act on the entire festival bill, and I could have just taken pride in that, but I think it went the opposite way, and I think you're on the mark there with that with that guess or with that idea. It had a lot to do with it. Lemon Larry says, a lot of acid once asked me, what do you want to do with eternity?
Right. Exactly.
Good question. Avery Cynthia says, you don't have health insurance, 401k, or any of that shit. That was just out of the blue. True, I don't.
Right.
Thanks for reminding me. Lemon Larry, and I am doing it. It's a humble life, but I'm very happy. Pluck a Tail Feather. The fiasco does look like an amazing adventure. That's most of the reason I'm so excited to show up. I want to bust in on your adventure for half a day. And that you will.
Right, and that's kind of the rad part of it, is where the three of us decided whether or not we got any dates at all. We were going to go drive around and wait for it to happen. I mean, that's what we had that discussion.
Which one?
Are we going to get any dates? We left with nothing, really. And now people are like excited to come, and you know what I mean? It has been rad. It's just, we're tired. I don't know if I'm making much sense. I'm gonna go back to lay down. Hey guys, I'm gonna lay down. I'm gonna lay down. My head fell off.
That's it.
But I'll be back.
Exactly. And
I'm not feeling that good.
like I said, we lost 5 grand, and that wasn't.
Go to sleep, Chad, they say. That's good advice, Bill Murray. Don't worry about entertaining us. Focus on being entertained. It's a beautiful thing that we have to remind ourselves sometimes that us having fun is an important thing not to lose sight of. I struggle with this dilemma of artistic success and financial success a lot. They are not intertwined. They are not. I wish I could show you the painting my daughter is painting right now. So incredible. Nice.
Yeah, he just played Mexicali Live, and it's like,
What?
Yes, it is Pluck a Tail Feather. It's the aftermath of whatever the fuck happened over the weekend that you missed. Yep. Don't forget to feed the fish from time to time. Love you, Bill Murray. All the hippies are going to work. Good job out there. I'll be right back. I'm going to go pee and grab my ukulele. This is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Mornings of the square table mean so much to me that you all came and all your ideas are awesome. I feel like we could stage a coup here, take something over. Yeah, how do you make a heart? Is it the 3 in the bracket? Psh.
So, for me, it was a tough one to swallow. But, you know what? It was all my staff taking like half of it.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Right. Exactly. Sure. Right. What a worm down, wow. Yep. Agreed. Oh, sure. Wow. Sure. Sure. Cool. Can you do me a favor and send me an email? Because I actually have, I need some more from right now. He's doing like a Ustream thing. It's called it's hippiefiasco.com where he's like talking to fans and stuff like that via Ustream, and he's doing his whole tour that way where they're streaming everything for 24/7. So like last night when he was sleeping in my house, it showed the dash of his van, not really stuff or fuel, but like he just did his whole round. Sure. Sure. It's FanFest Rocks. PHANC. PHESTROCKS. Cool. Like remember how you were. Yeah, that would be great. And you know how like you guys trashed here when you played at the same or whatever. Yeah, that's basically what I did for you guys.
A lot of hearts since I left. Avery, have you made one yet? There you go. I see yours.
Cool. Yeah. And you know, we'll try to get it all locked in.
Don't give up on love.
All right.
That was so cute.
So you're gonna do a live performance?
I just might.
Well, if you do, I'll Facebook that too.
Yeah, the next phase of the mornings of the square table. Request lines are open. I'm saving that chat because that was a wonderful conversation for the book. Mornings of the square table. Well, sometimes singing makes me feel better, and sometimes singing creates an emotional breakdown in front of a lot of people, like happened last night. But it opens me up for one thing or for what's inside, and it's not always a pretty picture. And I wish that wasn't the case. I saw it happening last night and really looked for the way around it or out, but through it was the only exit, and I felt so bad that I didn't have an entertainer inside me that knew how to dance around where I was going emotionally once I opened myself up to let the songs out. You know, that's I guess eventually being able to talk with you guys has helped a lot. I'm glad I didn't just sit spinning in my own brain today after that. I mean, Chad and Liz would have helped a lot too if I didn't have all of it, all of you. Um, definitely in my book. Oh no, I poured a beautiful cup of coffee and left it on the counter. Be right back. want to request the song Safe because it helped me through many crises of confidence and struggles, but only want to request it if it's going to feel good and helpful for you. Felonious Monk, what it boils down to, and almost invariably it always does, is the cyclical nature of things, wax and wane, ebb and flow, feast or famine. I am a rubber ball aiming for the sky. If I give the ground my all, no need to wonder why, no need to be too good to be true. If I'm falling, let me fall. Let me do as I do. I'm a rubber ball. I am a rubber ball. You've bottom for a dime. All I know is the harder I hit the bottom, the higher I fly. No need to be too good to be true. If I'm falling, let me fall. Let me do as I do. I'm a rubber ball. No need to be too good to be true. Hey, Lisa B, you made it home. Yeah, I guess I'll make it.
Man, this is like when Zach Deputy played my couch. You slept on last night. That's the cool thing about inviting musicians. Yeah.
The music that comes with them?
Yeah.
Well, for a little while, Lisa. Although last night, just to catch you up a little bit, my little breakdown continued into basically just sobbing into the microphone. A little terrible pity party. Ugh, just makes me sick to my stomach still thinking about it. Like when I think about it, ever since this happens to me sometimes when I have things like it's becoming cathartic, but I'll start thinking about like me last night playing, and I'll just be like sitting in the back seat of the car or just in the yard, and I I, I have to make a noise with my mouth. It's so weird. I'm just like, oh, God. It's like I can't just quietly think of it. Like it hurts so bad that like something has to come out. So it's like the almost talking to myself and not really saying anything. And just like I'd just be sitting there. Here's an impression if you weren't watching and I was just sitting here and I'd start to think about it. Oh, yeah, like something like that. You're in charge of the silver lining. Yeah, the clouds are up to you. There's a sweet song somewhere when you're pining, just waiting until you're through. And if you're determined, you can believe, and if you can believe, you'll have faith, and if you have faith, you can love, and if you can love, you'll be safe. can make everything happen for a reason. In fact, there's no tragedy that's not the way to go. That's why there's time, that's why there's seasons. That's how we roll on down the road. If you're determined, you can believe, and if you can believe, you'll have faith, and if you have faith, then you can love, and if you can love, then you'll be safe. So don't be too hard on you. I mean, you're the one's gonna get you out of this. You must be all you need, count on it. Someday you will reminisce. And if you're determined, you can believe, and if you can believe, you'll have faith, and if you have faith, you can love, and if you can love, then you'll be safe. Thanks, man.
Sitting on the deck,
Good request.
listening to Nathan Moore performs via Ustream in his computer in his hippie fiasco experiment.
Love you, Lisa.
I've been waiting for
Glad you did.
Excuse-
I was thinking the same thing.
Right.
Here's someone covering my song.
There is a sweet song somewhere when you're finding, just waiting till you are through.
If you determine, you can believe. If you can believe, you have faith. If you have faith, you can love. If you can love, you'll be saved. If you determine, you can believe. If you can believe, you have faith. If you have faith, you can love. If you can love, you'll be saved.
You can make everything happen for everyone. There is no tragedy that's there where not to go. That's why there is time, that's why there is a time for season. That's how we roll on down the road.
If you determine, you can believe. If you can believe, you have faith. If you have faith, you can love. If you can love, you'll be saved. If you determine, you can believe. If you can believe, you have faith. If you have faith, you can love. If you can love, you'll be saved.
Don't be too hard on you. You are the ones going to get out of this. You must be all you need, count on it. Someday you will realize.
If you determine, you can believe. If you can believe, you have faith. If you have faith, you are safe, if you are safe, you can love, if you can love, you'll be safe.
I'd probably have to. The with this version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been thinking of the studio edit of that. Isn't that great?
It's awesome.
You can hear. I love how you can hear the kids singing in the background. What is it about a chorus that just grabs your heartstrings, plants its foot, and pulls hard? Exactly. That's how the orchestra is going to sound someday. Oh, it's the last. Is this the last day of May? Close.
Day before the first day of June.
Some may say if I was chasing my tail, then it got away, therefore I failed. What they don't know is what they can't see. I'm not chasing my tail, it's chasing me, said the dog to the flea. On a summer's day, oh glory be, the month of May. Every time I shed a tear, you get stronger, you come near. When the sky is blue, away you run. I see myself in you as I reach for the sun, said the willow tree. To the waterway, oh glory be, the month of May. So you land on me, and you take what's sweet, then you fly off like we never did meet. You say you don't mind, that's all you need, and wherever you wind, you'll take my seat, said the flower to the bee. On a summer's day, oh glory be, the month of May, and the dog to the flea. On a summer's day, oh glory be, the month of May, and the willow tree to the waterway, oh glory be, the month of May. The month of May. Oh! I broke the chair on that one. That's another one I meant to sing all month and I kept forgetting about.
So you can still sing it in June, right?
I guess so. Yeah. It will be. Yeah. Hey, hobo. Welcome out. It's a beautiful day here. What's this lake called?
It's Deal Lake.
Deal Lake. Right. We're here at the Deal Lake. It's perfect for the mornings of the square table conversation at the Deal Lake.
No, it's pretty cool. There's been several musicians that have enjoyed this lake.
Right.
So I'm sitting here going,
many more to come.
Why don't I have a video shoot with different artists on the porch?
Exactly.
You know? Why not?
You can.
That's a moment of inspiration.
You can you could just I'll send you the Ustream. It'll be all pixely. It'll be the Hippie Fiasco version. You're shooting one now.
That'd be cool. That's cool.
Right. Or leave it in there.
Release that in the track. It's got lead like
I'm tired of slowing down. I'm tired of waiting around. Tired of finding something new to find each time something is found. Of course I've learned my lesson. I can give some good advice. Still it's hard to take the same old river twice. When I know it isn't true, but it doesn't go away. And no one asks what's new, 'cause they know what I will say. It's hard to have faith when you need it the most at the end of the day. Do you believe in ghosts? I disappear into these screens and a million jelly beans. Now I'm coughing up a coffin, driving nails lazily. I might dream up a mountain on the wings of such an ocean, but I'm still a pair of ragged claws on the bottom of the ocean. When I know it isn't true, but it doesn't go away. And no one asks what's new, 'cause they know what I will say. It's hard to have faith when you need it the most at the end of the day. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum. Do you believe in ghosts? Tired of slowing down. I'm tired of waiting round and finding something new to find each time something is found. Of course I've learned the lessons. I can give some good advice. Still it's hard to take the same old river twice. When I know it isn't true, but it doesn't go away. And no one asks what's new, 'cause they know what I will say. Oh, it's hard to have faith when you need it the most at the end of the day. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum. Do you believe in ghosts? Are you going to PNC? Probably. It's a small joint, right? I'll see you. Yep. Meet by the Bud Light truck at 8. We're going to be in the wheelchair section? Does it have a name? Section 200. Okay. Request lines are open.
I wish I knew some of your song titles.
Wings of Fire would be very, very hard. I don't know if I remember that one. But I got Oh Miss Already, Wings of Fire, Meet the Man.
How about Meet the Man?
I think I'm going to try them in order here. It's a holy bucket that holds the holy water, and it's a gutter that brings it to me, and it's a teaspoon I used to carry, and it's a small pot, but I swim in it for free. All my clothes are tattered and torn like a flag from the revolution. Oh, Miss Already, I'll be poet for you, and then some. I'm just 2 feet from the highway, a scattered brain, shuffling a deck of cards. But if you wanted me to, I'd give up my gambling just to pull the weeds out of your backyard. No, I ain't got a dollar, ain't even got a dime, but a millionaire, I'm in town. Oh, miss, already I want you to spend yours with mine. It's a January spring, and all the leaves are confused. The world's worshiping its own mistakes. And here I can't take my eyes off you, just to wait patiently with pointless rakes. In my heart, I wanna do my part. In my mind, I just wanna make it clear. Oh, miss, already, why don't you and me just disappear? Oh, miss, already, why don't you and me just disappear? Oh, miss, already, why don't you and me? Good call. I haven't played that one in too long. Oh, it's brick walling. Sorry. There you go. That should be better. I apologize. Nice. It's good to be back in your living room. I just cut it down a little bit. I don't want to spend all my days lonely, and I don't want to say someone's my one and only, 'cause as soon as I do, there's a world full of women who want to be with me when I want to be with them. Yeah, there's still that little boy inside me dying. He's gonna hold on long as he can. That part of me is down on his knees trying to meet this man. Why do I listen so to the crow who leads to sorrow, even borrow against my name just to follow? I mean, as soon as I find a way that leads to tomorrow, I'm gonna climb up out of this darkened hollow. And when that fall man breaks his brains, I will die laughing, 'cause that little boy is gonna be my soul. Anything worth wanting ain't worth having. No, no, no. She comes through every shade, every color, every window, every wall. And just when I think I got it made, she goes away. And that's all the little boy knows but won't let on. He's sticking to his story, come what may. While that man in me is waiting on the new dawn to come his way. Haven't done that one on the ukulele yet. There it is. Oh, I want to do it again. But I won't. This isn't my porch.
I was just telling your driver and my housemate that they're missing something cool, that they should come out here. They're both just like lounged out.
No,
watching TV.
Chad knows exactly what's going on.
But watching TV, you know, like 350 shit on the TV to choose from. You know?
I enjoy that myself.
Hey, awesome! I'll be right there to get you. Love you. Bye. Yeah. So I don't know if you can, chill on playing or play some more once she's here. But I gotta make her a drink and run off, pick her up from work.
Awesome. Bring home the loot. The love loot. Here we go, fish de loop. Here we go, fish de live. Here we go, fish de loop. All upon a Tuesday night. Go get him, Tiger. Thanks for being here. All right. Wings of Fire. Impossible that I can do this, but part of Request Lines is open is I have to try anything that's asked, I think. That's the rule. Shit. Found a little shred of innocence I didn't know I had left. They made me watch while they committed the theft. I was a naive outlaw on life's lumbering train. Didn't even know I was washing to the gutter in the rain. But it was a prearranged wedding between the poet and the page. It was a physical manifestation of my mind as the cage that had been pacing like a panther for days and days. But my tears watered the roses that were once just red with rage. So I must admit I'm thankful for the blow to the head. You can call me Kafka anytime and send me off to bed. I see it's sure to bring me wings, wings that take me higher. I see it's sure to bring me wings, wings of fire. The courthouse, thinking about the judge. He's never even met me. I hope he doesn't hold a grudge. But if all things are black and white, I'll try to make them smudge. But the law's a heavy anchor, even a courtship can't budge. I feel like they caught me in a state of undress. I don't remember it. I knew it. baby. All right, I tried. Oh, if they were trying to change me, I'd call it a success. I feel like they caught me in a state of undress, but they'll never see me naked, not as long as I have skin. They'll never see me naked again. Then what? Oh, but this is not the end. No, I'm just remembering the song. I got a feeling it could go on and on as long as I sing it. Even if I'm in jail, I'm gonna sing it. I'm gonna wail. I'm gonna go. I remembered it. Okay. Train of thoughts. Hey, Beluga Dad is back. Good timing, Beluga Dad. Everything's great. I'm so glad you're back. And you might remember the next request. This one goes out to Michael Sir. Thanks for asking. I wrote this for the man who just made it back into the lounge. There are those that will hate to see you shine, 'cause it reminds them of the blindness they've embraced. They will talk you down all over town, and then laugh and be all friendly face to face. That don't mean nothing. No, that's just nothing but mean. I mean, we all hate to feel small, so sometimes we make it all smaller, till it's all too small to even be seen. But hey, 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 don't be tricked by that train. It's not about to make any sudden turns. And there truly is a sage inside that comes with age. And there truly is a child who never learns. Well, you may try to glorify the stories of your youth, but in that you're bound to fall short. And some may try to claim there is no glory to the truth, but only as a sad last resort. I mean, you'd have to be a pretty brilliant writer to even half describe the grace that you've displayed. And you'd have to be a pretty stubborn fighter to try to tackle all the nonsense that comes our way. Oh, hey, 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 don't be tricked by that train. It's not about to make any sudden turns. And if your candle's lit at both ends, why not toss it to the fire and warm your hands above it as it burns? I see a red moon getting sucked into a mountain and a bright blue brand new breaking day. I never knew quite on how many hands you were counting, or just what you were about to say. And when I heard you were thinking about closing the place and hanging that dreaded awful sign, I just knew it was a bad idea to miss what you have just because you might not have it to miss on down the line. Hey, 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 don't be tricked by that train. It's not about to make any sudden turns. And on the other hand, I'm pretty certain wisdom wiggles in your palm like a dirty fishing worm. Nice. I want to hear your version of that song. I know you got it. So I heard. A little bird told me. Vermont Living. Welcome. I don't know if I've seen that name before. Great to have you. The bird told me. All right, what's next? You guys are killing it. Are you saying that, or are you asking for that song? Never played that on uke either. Oh, nice. Did you catch anything? Yay. To he who turns away angels like he turn away a ghost. To he who turns away friends when he needs them the most. To he who is dangerously close, I propose a toast. To he who needs it the most. Cheers. To he who's locked away, doing hard time for some unspeakable crime, even if it was only in his mind. I lift my glass of wine to he who is dying. Cheers. 'Cause Lord, if I know anything at all, it's that life is such a long fall. You can try flying, but you're better off just looking down for something soft. Just looking down for something soft. Hurts his lover off for fear. To he who is wanting never near. To he who's making tears. Hey, how about a round of beers? To the years, to the years. Cheers. To he who is missed in his own home, 'cause he's out here tonight rambling on. To he and all he's known, he does not drink alone. No, set him up, Joe. Cheers. I know anything at all, it's that life is such a long fall, you can try flying, but you're better off just looking down for something soft. Just looking down for something soft. That was the best I could do on Cheers. Thanks for asking for that song. I never really tried that one on the ukulele. Help Wanted would be almost impossible on the ukulele. Filled out another application, trying to resume. Filled with hesitation, feel the pull of the moon. To fly away, hey, that's what I do. Now I'm walking around my hometown, thinking of all the girls. Daydream settling down on this spinning world, saying I'll always stay. I won't just walk right out the door. Yes, sure, you're right. Yes, sure, you're right. I've only known foolish flight. It's the only way I made it this far. Deep down, I know my soul is rolling down this road. As I sit here, searching my heart, no one says the wrong thing. They just go on and on. Yeah, I guess I do that too. It just used to mean I was gone, or at least on my way. Hey, what am I running from? Feels good to quit my running. It's good to face my fears. There's a slow train a-coming. Here's to the engineer. Next time he rolls this way, I bet I'll still be sitting here. Yes, sure, you're right. I only know foolish flight. It's the only way I made it this far. Deep down, I know my soul, it's rolling down this road. As I sit here, searching my heart. Orchestra, help me. Well, my next move is classified, so I buy the paper, Let's skip to the ads about the single wides. 'Cause I found a spot I could put a trailer. And in my mind they say it's okay. Pay us later. Nathan, wake up! Nathan! What a help wanted. Help wanted. Help wanted. Help wanted. Help wanted. Help wanted. And on my resume, hey, if you got it, flaunt it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, right. I've only known foolish flight. It's the only way I made it this far. Deep down, I know my soul is rolling down that road. As I sit here, searching my heart. Definitely the first time I'd done that one on the ukulele. You guys are fun today. Hi, I'm Nathan.
Hi, I'm Brenda.
Great to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
It's my first Fish show, too.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to be quiet over here. My voice carries in the background.
It sounds like excitement. I'll try to have a fun night. 82nd Avenue. Basement. I'm sketching 82nd. I'm sketching 82nd Avenue. Almost all gone, racing to the end. A strange white and frightened smile over's my only friend. 9:30, knock on the door, housekeeping show, more towels. Why don't you tell me again? Hey, your mama met your daddy at the Ramblin' Inn. I'm sketching 82nd Avenue. And Rod Stewart just walked by, circa 1982. I wonder what the shady ladies really do. Children on the playground. Now that sounds the same world round. Her dreams are the same as mine. She'll stay when I leave this town, as the bartender sings along with the jukebox. Whatever's on, the morning man who whacks the weeds, he's only spreading seeds. I'm sketching 82nd Avenue. Morning junkies, how do you do? Time's an old man chalking his cue. Sinking sun, the drowning comes like a flood. The night swims through the day with this blowhole moon. This is Jonah's whale. Got to get away, got to get away, got to get away, got to get away, got to get away. I'm sketching 82nd Avenue, where the good times won't find you. Still wonder what the shady ladies really do. It's our webcast. 24/7.
I tried to stay up to meet you guys last night when you came in, but
It was late.
I couldn't, and I just get to a point where I'm like, I gotta go down.
Yeah. I'm glad you did. You have a big night ahead of you too.
Running for weeks. And I just moved in, and like, everything's all over, and it's just like starting a new job, making the transition. My kids are in another town. It's like, that's all right.
Right.
It's a good time.
Right. It's a great
You
thing.
guys have been on the road, huh?
About 4 months now.
Yeah. How's it
In
going?
total. Good. I mean, it's we're weary at the moment,
I'm sure that you are.
but we're getting a few days rest here, or two days after tonight. So that alone makes me feel better, knowing it's there.
Absolutely.
If I had tonight and had to do something tomorrow night and had to do something the next, I would be sort of panicked right now.
Yeah.
I'd be afraid to go tonight and everything. But knowing I get to rest for a couple of days after this, I'm all in. I'm ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we've been really putting in the miles and working really hard.
You guys came out from Brooklyn last night?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Were you playing out there?
Played a house concert.
Oh.
Yeah. And we were planning on staying there, but it was a small place, and it was really sort of hot and sticky and small, and we were all so weary. I'm so glad we woke up here.
It's been nice, right?
It's helped so much.
That's